and I'm going to take you on a meta theater experience tonight. My good friend Lauren Boone is going to be doing my stage managing and calling out time because time, unfortunately, waits for no one. I don't cry. I used to. Growing up, if the sun was shining through the trees in just the right way, I'd be so overwhelmed with the beauty of it all that tears would just stream down my face. Or when my sister broke my glasses in a heated game of jacks, that was the sad one. Or when I broke my foot when I was little, not now. But anyway, I don't cry as an actor, and I don't cry as a human. And I want to explore that tonight. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. He likes to sit right here. Well, he actually stood about 6'4", had red hair and a sea captain's beard, and was actually a very shy person. He went by many names. Ed, Eddie, Edward, if he was in trouble. By that woman right there. Ada, Dada, Dad. He's my dad. When I talk about my dad, many don't know that he's been gone for 7 years now. It's because I talk about him. And I don't talk about him in the wrong tense. I talk about him in the past tense, but I don't necessarily talk about him in a sad way. This might sound shitty, but I don't cry for him anymore. I can't. So instead, I talk about him to honor his impact on life. And maybe if I keep talking about him, then his legacy will live on. Right after my father died, everyone came to the house. My dad was one of 8 siblings, so you can imagine. And all I could do was keep cleaning the kitchen. Over and over and over and over and over again. And for those who know me, you'll know that I hate cleaning with a passion. But I kept doing it. And I know grief makes you do weird things. And I know that the routine after shock is so helpful, but it was more than that. It was the acts of service that I kept doing. It was draining. It wasn't me, but I felt like I had to do it. So I was sitting in Tara's office in the fall, talking to her how I felt disconnected to my acting, to who I was, how I was operating in the world, and I was telling her this story. And as I was telling her it, I realized that for the last 7 years, I was doing my father's love language, not mine. Like, I was keeping him alive in the only way I knew how, mimicking or acting what he did. Yeah, it was hard. So I had to ask myself, why haven't I cried? Have I not cried because I haven't allowed myself to grieve the death of my father?
16 minutes.
Thank you, 16. Was it because I had tried to replace my father by mimicking his love language? Could I not cry because I wasn't a good actor? But does good acting mean to just be able to turn on the waterworks? Could I not cry because I lose the authenticity if I rehearse over and over and become numb to it? Then for me, if so, the act of theater both demands it and prevents it. So what if I was public about my grief? Could I actually bring my need to grieve in a public space and see what wins out? I'm asking, can I cry about my father if people are watching? And then can I cry as an actor if I haven't rehearsed this to death? is to cry for my father. But how can I do that? How can I ensure that you, the audience members, get something out of this if I don't cry at all? Well, for me, it's a lot easier to be the educator in the room, especially in emotional situations. I will always be the adult. So if I take on that role naturally, why not give myself that role? I'm going to do just that. I'm going to teach you about acting techniques that I've learned throughout the years and explore my ability to cry in those and to see if I can honor my father along the way. We'll start with the Uta Hagen technique. The Uta Hagen technique believes in imaginary circumstances. And if we break down these circumstances, how fantastical they may be, we can relate and we can be in it, in the moment. So let's set it up. Greek theater uses imaginary circumstances all the time. If anyone dies in a play in Greek theater, it's off stage because the mind always conjures the worst. So the theory is if we become numb to the pain and violence, then we never get the catharsis that we're trying to achieve, especially in Greek theater. Let's try it out. I'm going to do a monologue from a play called Trojan Women. And this monologue is of Andromache, and she is telling her young son that he's to die. And there's nothing she can do about it. There's soldiers standing all around them, and she can't retaliate, and he's just as helpless. Oh, my sweet child, too loved, too doted on, only to be killed by your enemies, leaving your mother bereft. Would ought have been your safe haven, your father's high birth. I never thought I bore you to be slaughtered by the Greeks. Is that why you cry too, child? Do you see what's soon to happen, what they're to do? No one can stop you, or even pity you, as they hurl you from that great height, and your thin neck shatters, snuffing your life out. Oh, my little one, so precious to your mother. Oh, the sweet scent of your skin. Come kiss your mother goodbye. Come hug her who gave you life. One final time, your arms around my neck, and your lips open mine, oh Greeks. So, for me, it's kind of a flaky technique. If you're not fully in it all the time, you're not always constantly imagining your circumstances, and this stool is a child, and that's kind of hard. I hate feeling like I failed. I mean, the whole crying thing as an actor has really stumped me. I'm a singer first, and singing comes so easy to me that it's so frustrating that crying on stage is so damn hard. I have no control. I can't control my emotions because if I control my emotions, then I lose the unpredictability and I can't feel. Remember, I'm always the adult in the room. So, I think it's really funny though, because when you experience grief at such a profound level, you have the ability to dig so much deeper and to experience all things at such
a different level than most. You go through so much and you get so much out of it, but I don't want to go there. I think I found a loophole though. The Stanislavski system. Say that 3 times fast. I can't. A lot of preparation goes into this technique, but it focuses on the motivation and emphasizes the character's objectives. So what makes the character do what they're doing? Who are they? Who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? Why do I want what I want? This preparation goes into the character so that you can take yourself out of the character and just be the character. Not to the extent of method acting. Let's make that clear. It freaks me out. Sorry. So, if this technique allows me to empathize, and take myself out of it, then let's try it. The monologue I'm going to be doing is from Stop Kiss, written by Diana Sun. I actually don't think you guys need the context to this one. I think that I need the context for me in my preparation. That's it. They've finished building the building by your apartment. Wake up now. Sarah. Open your eyes. Open your eyes! We're gonna start you on physical therapy tomorrow, just to get blood pumping. A lot of people wrote you letters. I can read them later to you if you want. Your parents are here. They're doing better. They're doing okay, considering. They're getting better because you're getting better. Yeah. They look at me, your parents, like I'm some dirty old man. And the newspapers, and the TV stations, the radio station, my station, they identified me. They said, our traffic reporter from this station, now everybody, the deli guy down the street, I used to be the blueberry muffin lady, and now I'm the lesbian traffic reporter whose lover got beat up. And these ladies, they wrote me letters. They were heartbreaking. Their lovers had died during the attacks. And they said, there's power in the truth. But I don't know what that means, Sarah. Do you know what that means? Do you know me? Do you know who I am? Thank you. So, I like that technique a little bit more. For me, it's more real. I'm allowed to get out of my body and get out of myself without having to jeopardize the moment. I think there's a moment of acting where you see that magic, that sparkle, and you don't want to lose it. And so if I can do that with that technique, even if maybe I don't cry, I think there's power to it. But speaking of magic, I Um, I moved schools my junior year. My father had passed away, and I came home to help with my brother. And I was at orientation, and it was like the first day, and I was pretty scared. I made some friends, but still wicked nervous. And I'm sitting in the cafeteria, and my phone rings. And it says, Ed Cell. Ed Cell. That's my dad calling. Well, my dad's been dead for 6 months. Would you pick up the phone? I did. And I said, hello? And there was this guy on the other end, and he said, oh, hi, is this Anna? No, this is not Anna. And he was like, oh, sorry. Well, you have a good day, and you've got this. And hangs up. You got this. Yeah. I don't know who that guy was, but I like to strongly believe that that was my father calling me, telling me that you got this. It's my dad's quiet magic, and I love it. But maybe what I need actually isn't here. Maybe I need to use a technique that I've been dreading to use. It's called drama therapy. And this technique involves believing that the person that you're talking to is right in front of you. Maybe I just need to have a conversation with my dad. Hi, Dad. I really miss you. Everybody's here tonight. Mom, Philip, Nana, and Papa. I hurt my foot recently. And I was hobbling down the street. I said, oh, don't worry, I'll just call Dad. And for like a split second, I forgot that I couldn't call you. Because the last time I messed up my foot, carried me up the stairs and down the stairs and to the hospital and back. I was struggling with crutches. But it was like that split second where I was just like, oh, no. And Philip's getting really tall. He's probably going to be taller than you. And I finally sorted out my graduation tickets. My graduation, and I take it for Nana, I take it for Papa, I take it for Mom, I take it for Philip, I take it for Bridget, and I have an extra ticket. I have a ticket for you. There's one extra ticket. Thank you.